I'm no competition to the girls, and the guys don't see me as a girl as well. I actually grew up feeling like I was genderless. I lost my menses for 8 years.
There's always this very preconceived notion that a person with disability will always end up dating with another person that has a disability, right?
I have never dated another person with disability. Okay. Just saying.
I took the first step to message him and tell him don't disappear again.
So the first question is, tell me about the last time you were in love.
I don't know, I think I'm a very loving person. So I feel...
Got crush or not? Is it like...
I don't want to do this interview anymore.
Sorry.
The last time I was in a relationship was a year ago.
How long were you all together for?
We were together for 3 years plus.
Were there like any factors that was like hindering or holding you back then?
I sometimes feel like it may be burdensome to date me because I have a physical challenge. Or what if I'm too needy that this other person has to eventually maybe be resentful about it. But I think over the years, people have shown me that what I lack in physical areas, I perhaps make up in other areas. If there are issues, it's not due to my disability. Yeah, because normally if it is due to the disability, people will know from the start. And then there will be a very small chance that we will even get together in the first place.
I think like there's always this very preconceived notion that a person with disability will always end up dating with another person that has a disability, right?
I have never dated another person with disability.
Okay.
Just saying.
Okay.
From my personal experience, I don't see it often. I know of like maybe people who are deaf, then they rather date somebody who is also deaf because communication is easier. But I've also seen somebody who got paralyzed from an accident later in life dating somebody who is like a non-PWD.
Yeah. Has your disability ever gotten in the way of you finding love?
I don't think it's just a disability. I think it's my disability coupled up with who I am. Some Singaporeans do know me, so I did find it difficult to put myself out there. So when I was growing up, I didn't have a lot of confidence. Even in school, I would be left behind, be bullied, kind of. And if I didn't even have friends, how would I find love? But honestly, when I was growing up, I was kind of worried that I would never find somebody. I am glad that I have kind of forged through life my own, and along the way also I've met people, I've fallen in love.
So you have been in quite a few relationships,
No lah, maybe 3?
Three, wow. More than us.
More than us.
More than us.
Okay, so you say you all know me, right? Would you introduce somebody to a person with a disability?
To be very like practical and frank, I will only introduce if I feel like my friend is ready, like what you say, for what they are getting into lah. And I think if my friend like cannot understand or be ready for all these things, then I think like disability aside, it's just not a relationship that he or she can get into lor. Yeah.
And then would you guys yourselves date people with disabilities?
I think similar, if I'm also like ready for everything and like personality vibe and I'm attracted, then yeah lah, why not, right?
Yeah, you must love your friend enough to, you know, introduce them someone that you feel that could value them as who they are.
I love this conversation because it's not just about love. It's loving yourself, loving your friends loving themselves.
Yes.
Yeah. So do you all find this conversation difficult?
Honestly, no, because you shared so openly.
It's true.
And it also sort of taught me that difficult conversations are sometimes needed because we tend to, avoid and skirt around this kind of topics, which shouldn't be. We should normalize it. Yeah.
Have people asked you about like your dating life, but then they feel very like awkward to talk about it?
Very little people ask me about my dating life. I would like for more people to ask me about my dating life.
Okay, everyone take note.
Yeah, please comment on her IG.
Because it's fun, like you meet your friends and then like you ask them what's going on in their lives. Do you all have friends with disabilities?
For me personally, no. I think you are my first.
Okay, I will be your friend.
Yeah, you can be my first friend.
Yeah, but I think it's important to surround, like if you don't know about a particular topic, you find it very difficult to talk about it. So really the first step of breaking any barrier is to look beyond anybody's appearance and actually to be their friend. Because at the end of the day, I think humans are all the same.
We have been married for 10 years.
Yeah.
And both of us are visually impaired since young.
How do you guys meet?
Okay, so we were actually primary school classmate at the Singapore School for the Visually Handicapped.
So Iskandar, were you the one who made the first move?
Actually, yes, but initially I was very quiet,
Actually, I rejected him.
yeah.
That time, you rejected him. Yeah, my parents were quite strict. So going to school means going to school.
Oh,
yeah.
cannot like
so
go and
before,
date people.
yeah, before my mother find out, I better tell him first. You don't call me again. We met again in 2010.
Okay. So
Yeah,
cute.
that was after 16. How many years? 16 years. I took the first step to message him and tell him don't disappear again. Yeah.
Oh, he's so cute. Oh, so romantic.
so cute.
Do you have any fears, like both of you, before getting into like a relationship?
There are always the challenges wherever, whoever, like, regardless whether we are PWDs or not.
Yep.
Being visually impaired, the good thing is because both of us are the same situation, or almost the same, so we sort of like complement each other. People, when they see a person with special needs or people who cannot see for us, how do you clean your house? You can't see, how do you cook? So these are the things that actually we can do. It's just that we do it differently. So we use our other senses, not our sense of sight, but more like our sense of touch, smell, and all that. So initially when we just got married, like the first 2 years, right? Then I was cleaning my room and I was like, "Can you help?" And then he was start sneezing. Like, no lah, I cannot lah. Got a lot of dust.
Because the
lah.
room was very dusty, so that sneezing.
Cannot lah.
Excuses.
Excuses. But he knows that I can do, so he knows that he also can do if I can do. So we do together.
So for you, Iskandar, what do you love most about your wife? Like, what's the most attractive thing to you?
I think for me, she has the most cute voice. I mean, she's very patient against me. I'm like, at home sometimes I do things anyhow.
Even though I was still neck lah.
But you neck with love, right? Neck with love.
How about you?
His courage. He's very daring. He even went, our first honeymoon.
Honeymoon?
Yeah, we went for
Okay,
honeymoon.
where?
We went to
Genting Highlands, just the two of us.
Genting Highland.
Yes.
What do you guys do
Good.
there?
Theme park ah.
Oh wow.
We went to theme park, yeah.
Going out for me, I still can manage because
Yeah.
usually if I lost my way, I will ask around.
Yeah. Has your disability ever gotten in the way of you finding love?
If I never meet her, I think by now I never get married. I was tell her that because like, let's say if the person accept me, how about the family? Maybe the parents won't accept my disability.
Yeah, I guess we also hear stories from our friends like having their family not accepting and then they have to break up and all that. So it's very sad to hear. Disability could be a hindrance, but it's really about people's perception lah. Yeah, whether people are willing to accept us just like anybody else. Let's think in a different perspective and do things differently. You will sure get there. Yeah.
Okay, so question 1. Tell me about the last time you were in love.
I can't remember I even had that experience before,
Okay.
but I do fantasize about what that would be like, really.
Okay. Has your disability ever gotten in the way of you finding love?
During my secondary school days where the whole BGR, the boy-girl relationships starts happening, and being so self-conscious about my appearances, I actually grew up feeling like I was genderless. Like, I just shut down that side of me because I feel that it was my perception that no one sees me as a female, as a girl. There was so-called like, I'm no competition to the girls, and the guys don't see me as a girl as well.
Yeah.
I ended up being a bit more tomboyish, like I'll be more strong about it, to act like, it's just put on a mask. So that really, I think, hold myself back from being able to receive love even as well.
When you said you felt genderless, like what do you mean?
I didn't, because I've really felt like a medical specimen. Growing up, going to hospitals for checkups, and it come to a point in time whereby I also I really wanted to remove all my female parts, but I didn't realize the extent that it has actually hurt me because my health was compromised. I lost my menses for 8 years.
8 years. Oh my god.
So it stopped
It
completely.
stopped. I thought it was stress that was
Okay.
stopping it. But until I started my own healing and transformation journey and really restoring my identity as a woman to start embracing that, my menses came back.
Have you ever, I guess, like kind of made a move or like made attempts to find love, but you felt like you were a bit held back or by your disability?
Yeah, I've always stopped myself at that line, knowing that it's not possible at all, and so not to ruin that friendship
Yeah.
as well. Because I had experiences whereby I really treated the guy as a friend,
Yeah.
but I was made fun of for liking that person, and that ruined that great friendship that I have, and I was very upset about it. This was a topic I also didn't dare to bring up because it's like nobody will ask you this because they find it difficult and they believe that it's not possible for you to be in a relationship. Also, Chinese New Year is where your relatives will be
Oh my
asking.
God,
Are
the
you married?
questions.
Where do you have like
The
okay.
interrogations.
They will skip me.
No, do you feel left out when they skip
Yeah,
you?
it's like, why never they ask me? I would also love to be in a relationship. And then, probably this past few years, I started hey, why you never ask me?
Oh, you disturb them, you ask them
yeah,
back.
yeah.
Okay.
Hey, I also want a boyfriend. I also want to get married. Then they say, then it will be like a bit of an awkward silence for a moment. They'll be like, yeah, faster find one.
So actually they are okay lah. They were just worried whether you are be receptive to these kind of questions.
Correct. I think they were all they find this conversation difficult to have come to a place whereby I am more embracing about myself. It's a work in progress, always. Hope to see that more in many others as well.
Special thanks to Purple Parade for giving us this space to share these stories and promote conversations about inclusivity.
Yes, and as usual, if you like this episode, please remember to like, share, and subscribe.
And if you happen to see us on the streets next time, feel free to join us for some tea. Although we are in a shopping mall this time
Yeah,
around.
okay, next time on the streets.
On the streets.
Okay,
Till the next one.
bye-bye.
Bye.